so here's another one you might want to do. Linux Buffer Overflow with return-oriented programming. And this one here is some training exercise somebody put on the web, which is very cute. I think this is the one I found based on Alpine Linux, which is very nice. So you just download this thing, which is a really small file, unzip it, and run it in VMware. And it runs a nice headless server. I started using it for Capture the Flag contest I was making after this because it's so nice. And it just runs a simple web server and gives you a little bit of information here. So I've got instructions, and it gives you some hints on the page. You can figure it out just from there. But anyway, all you have to do is the same thing we've done here. You'll need you fuzz it. So you make a program to connect to it, and then you send it an HTTP, a GET, with an A, and now you send it more and more A's in there. The GET request in HTTP has more and more A's in it, so you will eventually find that you can crash it so it doesn't respond. I think 1,000 A's is enough to crash it. So then, and it shows you on the console, it shows you where it crashed. It's giving you a debugger input here. So it shows you had a seg fault with the instruction pointer at 41, 41, 41, 41. So some of those A's got in the EIP. So you can put in a variable number of A's until you learn how to target EIP. And then you get letters you put in, 43, 43, 43, 44, so you can find where it is. And now the only problem is you can control the EIP. So now you have to go through the whole story. It's a little practice. Find the bad characters so you know what characters you can inject. Test your alphanumerics and such. Then after you're done testing all them, then you find the crash. And you're able to connect a debugger to the running process so you can see it in a debugger. And now you can put in a breakpoint to examine the stack. Anyway, it's very much the same thing we've done, and you can end up being able to insert, you find a useful address, you insert some malware and take over the box, and you do a trampoline with pop return. This is how you take over a box when you have address space layout randomization. You inject code, which goes on the stack, and then you find pop return, which will jump to the stack pointer. So even though you don't know the stack pointer, the code you inject goes there, and you bounce off pop return. You find some code that doesn't move, that contains pop return. They call it a trampoline. You bounce off that to the stack so you can inject code and run it and defeat address space layout randomization. So it's a good little practice for that, and we'll do this a lot more when we get to the Windows part, which is starting next week. So anyway, check that out if you like for extra credit. You do need VMware, but you don't need a very powerful machine. This Alpine Linux is very nice and small. All right, I'm going to stop this one.